A recent survey showed folks thinking 58 should be the retirement age. It's a personal decision influenced by your financial readiness, health, work situation, and personal goals. Key factors include being eligible for Social Security and Medicare at ages 65 and 67, depending on what year you were born. Having sufficient savings and investments to support your lifestyles for potentially 20, 30 years or more. Maybe even more. That number might be off because people are living to be so much older in retirement. Now, let's set some goals and guidelines. Please welcome to the show, Craig Bolanos. He's just the man for this segment. And I can just start off with, I will not be retiring by 58. I'm 53. Some people, I was shocked by the results of this survey. What do you think?
Tommy, I'm no longer shocked by absolutely anything. I think the survey, though, should have quantified something. Want to versus can and will do. Those are two different things. Maybe the survey should say, I want to retire at 58, but need to or can do. It's not going to happen. I mean, how can everybody in the survey say, I want to retire at 58, but then 45% of those people responded says if they have one financial regret, it's that they didn't start saving sooner. The two go hand in hand. They're not mutually exclusive. Getting retired and staying in retired in America is as challenging and daunting as it's ever been.
And if someone's behind, what can they do to catch up? I mean, what are our choices here?
Well, one, you just got to get real. You got to know your why. It's not enough to say, I want to retire. Why do you really want to retire? And once you own your meaningful why, then you're starting to unlock meaningful purpose and you can do the right things. And what are those right things, you ask? So glad you teed it up, Tommy. Number one, start getting a budget. You have a budget at work, you have a P&L at work, and if you don't have a budget for your household, that means you're not telling your money where to go. It means you're forever doomed to wonder where it went. Once you've got that budget, you've got to find a way to max out that company retirement plan. Once you're over the age of 50, you got to hit those catch-up contributions. And above all else, if you want to cash flow retirement, it's not about the nest egg, it's about the monthly income. You got to get on a plan to pay down that debt service, because when you don't owe anybody anything, life gets a heck of a lot easier.
Yeah, and it almost sounds like we're talking old school Dave Ramsey stuff, but the situation doesn't change. It's just new people come in and make the same mistakes. Do you feel like that?
It's rinse and repeat for everybody. I mean, we live in a society now where I say, people go, why is it tougher to retire, Craig? And my common sense answer to that is because everybody thinks they're entitled to something that they're not. All of us need to be self-reliant. There is no handout. There is no safety net. And all of us have dreams and ambitions. But when we live in a virtual world, and yes, I'm calling out social media. Yes, I'm calling out the Joneses, since you mentioned Dave Ramsey style, right? I think it's living up to something that's aspirational, that's not necessarily real for most Americans. But I tell you this, if you want to go on a journey of financial peace, find a way to slave the debt, find a way to have command and control of the budget, and you too can get retired. It's just a matter of doing the work.
Mm-hmm. And personally, I like working. Is there something wrong in America? Are there that many people who don't like their jobs? I mean, someone successful like yourself, why wouldn't you keep working? You could do your job from anywhere, correct?
I love it. I love it. I've long told the kids, shout out to Connor and Gavin, two boys, 22 and 24. We've always said you're either going to do something that you love, you're going to do something that makes you enough money to pursue what you love, or maybe, just maybe, you'll get lucky and find something that checks both of the boxes. But I think that's the reason consulting exists. I think all of these things exist. I think retiring early still has some level of panache. But last time I checked, Tommy, it's no longer the 1990s. There's lots of people who want to stay engaged longer because they want to continue to have intellectual gratification. And I think we should find ways to support that. But above all else, just because you want to work doesn't mean you're going to be able to. Life has a nasty way of getting in the way. So we got to make sure we're prepared, planned, and have flexibility built ahead of time.
Well, let's talk about that. Say someone gets this bright idea to retire at 60. And they do it for a few years. They're bored. They didn't save enough money. They can't keep their spending under control. Have you personally worked with people who thought they were retiring and they're like, I'm coming back out. I got a job. I'm starting for the Cubs. Let's go. I'm throwing fastballs again.
Yeah, hey, here, listen, at VestGen Wealth Partners, people aren't going back to work because they need to. At VestGen Wealth Partners, people are going back to work because they want to. That's why we do a lot of time coaching. It's not just about the numbers, it's making sure that you have something to retire to. You got to have something to get you out of bed every single day with meaningful purpose. You can't play pickleball 8 hours a day, you can't golf 8 hours a day. And sure, you can go to the gym, get a cup of coffee, walk a couple laps along the track, sit in the hot tub, shower, get lunch. But again, there's a lot of time to kill. So at the end of the day, people need to make sure they've got this lifestyle that they're going to move towards. And once you know what that lifestyle that you're moving into is going to be, then you can start planning your cash flows and investments around supporting such.
And I like what you said a few minutes ago, Craig. If you watch social media, you watch the Instagram guys, gals, whatever, you think they live the best life. I've met some of these people. They're not as cool as you think. Half that stuff on there is just fake news.
Everything is just not everything, but Tommy, there's a lot of hyperbole out there. There's a lot of sensationalism, a lot of this, a lot of that. And I think that's why if we have good conversations, the type of conversations that start with, what's important about money to you and your family? What is it that you really value most? And for a lot of people, it's everything that money can't buy and death can't take away. But we still need to solve for the financial issues that are there. It's about being a great steward of the treasure we've all been entrusted for. And when we do those things in a bespoke manner, boy, you get to worry a little bit less, live an awful lot more. And I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah. I notice where I grew up in the region, Northwest Indiana, people like physically had hard labor jobs, like working at the steel mill. Those have been replaced by so much robotics and other stuff. A lot of people behind a computer in a cube. When I come here to Nashville and work at Nesvik Trading, I have a cube. I sit in a cube with my computer and 4 trading screens and spend a lot of time behind the computer. I don't know that that's the exact quality of life, but possibly people could work a lot longer if they're healthy, correct?
Yeah, listen, I mean, the freedom from aging, the chase for longevity, it's a big deal. I mean, Ponce de Leon, I'm pretty sure he never found the magical fountain of youth. But you look at GLP-1s, you look at all these investable behaviors, and you look at how jobs have changed. And some of the very tough labor is still tough, but some of the tough labor is less tough than it used to be. That empowers people to stay engaged longer. So we'll see how it all comes together. To
Yeah.
each their own.
I went for a walk this morning. And I was walking down Church Street in Nashville, and everyone was going to this new construction site at 6 in the morning. I said, "How lucky am I?" I said, "I don't think they're as happy to go to work as I am today." Or Craig Bolanos, correct?
You know what? I'm living a pretty happy and fulfilled life, many blessings, and I'm just so thankful that so many families across the country have allowed us to represent them so that they too can pursue a life full of passions and family.
Excellent. Craig, how do people get a hold of you?
You know what? Connect with us online at getretiredstayretired.com. That's getretiredstayretired.com.
Thanks, Craig. That's great. Thank you.
Great to be with you, Tommy.